What is good, y'all? SGG gang back here again after a little bit of a hiatus. Had to take care of some stuff IRL, but we are back with the Angels again, and let's go ahead and give you guys a quick reminder of where we kind of left off. 38-50 record here as we go ahead into the month of July. And man, we started to heat up here recently. The beginning of June, you see, was going pretty good. Kind of cooled off there near the middle with the long losing streak, but it kind of picked it back up here near the end again. 6-4 our last 10 on a 5-game winning streak right now, still last place in the division. But hopefully all that changes today, not only with the draft but with a couple of trade additions that I have in mind. The first one here being a potential shortstop prospect here with the Rays. At 66 overall, he's got great defense, which we're looking to improve, especially at the infield positions. He actually has 50 in his contacts. He's kind of struggling at the AAA level right now. So definitely has more room to grow. Definitely not going to be up here at least this year, maybe next year though. But the errors are really low on him with 4, and you guys know we've been trying to get rid of Luis Refringo. He has got great hitting stats. He's a great bat to have on paper, because even this season he's struggled. He's not up near his 270 where he's normally at, which makes everything okay. And the errors are just getting so much there was one game he had 3 errors, and it was the complete reason we lost. So I'm end up making a trade here for the two to swap. We're also going to swap an outfield prospect for them, as well as receiving another outfield prospect for them, just to make the trade work here. They weren't willing to go straight up for Refringo for Carson Williams. So Randy DeJesus will be sending over to them as a C potential prospect who we weren't doing too much with. And I was like, just give me a C potential prospect back, just because I wanted to at least be even. Trying to see if they had anything worth of value here to match up with the Jesus, which they didn't. So he would actually already be an improvement on their side. So we go ahead and send that over to them. They think it's a good deal. So of course that requires us to shift around our lineup a little bit. Because Trey Lipscomb has been doing great at the AAA level. I'm still worried about the contact versus left, but his vision's up. His contact versus right is really good, and his fielding is actually in a decent spot. The accuracy could use some work, but he's played phenomenally down at the AAA level all season. Had a good spring. It was just due to roster constraints. We didn't even start on the major league roster, so he will be brought up here to finish out the rest of the season. So with that being said, we'll definitely get into a game at least with him here, having now he's called up here to the major league level, as we go to extend our winning streak to 6 games there, being the Yankees 2-0. And another trade goes down here with somebody else in the league. The Royals getting Mason Miller, having a phenomenal year this year. 3.53 ERA, 21 saves is not too bad, and they're getting giving up 3 people to go get him, including a very good 19-year-old prospect to go ahead and give back. So see the types of trades that are going down. It's very much so one player for a player and a prospect. So it's not like we are cheating out the computer here. We're looking at for good deals. But against the Angels, Hunter Barco gets an L here and a very bad outing. So some pitching changes might have to be coming soon. But as we go into our last round of scouting, we're looking at Joe Snowden here at shortstop after we went and traded for one. He's got more so a defense that reflects second base, just where the arm strength and accuracy is. And the context could be at least an average spot. So if he can turn to an average hitter and keep that defense, this could be our second baseman to maybe replace Luis Refringo. At least this is what I'm thinking heading into this draft. For the 77 to 87 potential, we'll definitely be able to keep our eyes on that. Now there's also here Jesus Perdoza in right field, who looked okay, probably not somebody that I would look for early in the draft, not even like the first 2 picks. And then Juan Alonso has got good hitting. The defense is kind of all over the place as first base, but could be a DH possibly. And then we're looking up other players that we can possibly add in, at least know more information about. So that's like Carlos Cadero here, Bernardo Trujillo. In the outfield, we are looking to see if maybe we have to start over at center field for Joe Adell. So I wanted to look at both of those 2 spots here in the last week of scouting. As we go ahead and head into the week of the draft, Jordan Romano, big clutch situation here to go ahead and get us a save. He's been getting a lot more of these chances and opportunities now that the team is actually starting to win some games. The beginning of the year was very rocky for us, wasn't getting too much, but now we're in a situation here with Dane Myers at the plate, runners at first and second. We have a great opportunity here to go ahead and close this one out. We only need 1 out here from Romano, so can Dane be clutch? Popped it up. Nolan. I wish I could figure out how to say his last name. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's like Schneel, something along those lines. But whatever it is, he made the play to go ahead and end the ball game there for us. As we go ahead and take the first game here that we are actually stepping into, going and knocking off the Padres here to go ahead and get a dub here right before the end of the break, and this team is really kind of turning it around. I mean, the bats is really, I think, the part that's been saving us. The pitching has been pretty average, middle of the road, but the bats coming alive and actually starting to score runs, getting hits. That's been the part to figure out here, getting a good lineup that fits everything. Taylor Ward producing phenomenally. I mean, 3 for 4 here today for a 229 average. But it seems like every time I'm checking on his numbers, he's hitting good. So I don't know why the average is so low. I don't know if that's just from recovering from his time while he was on the bench. Nolan also hit a home run today, as loyal as Henry Pereira with his 14th home run of the season. And Aaron Chevalier with a really good start, just did not walk out with the dub. So a little bit of a roster change here. As we're going to go ahead and bring Trey Lipscomb in to replace Matt Shaw, who's been struggling at third base. And I wanted to get in a quick game with him before the trade deadline to see what he's able to do here at the major league level yet again. Had a great spring, put up really good numbers. I think he hit over 330 in the spring, no errors in the spring. So the legit reason that I did not bring him up was the fact that he was a 66 overall. You know, I wanted to believe in Matt Shaw, even though he had a worse spring. I wanted to believe in the overall over the actual numbers, which I'm starting to realize with MLB The Show you can't do too often. The actual numbers are telling a lot more of the story than their overalls, their potentials. So that is probably my biggest challenge here as a GM in MLB The Show, is looking past overall and potential and actually looking at what the numbers are telling me. And here the numbers are telling me that Matt Shaw needs some time on the bench. So hopefully Trey can put together a good game here and make that decision right here with the 1-2. That's facing up against Mackenzie Gore in his first major league real at-bats this season. Has him looking at a full count here. He chops this one on the ground past the defenders out there on the right side of the infield. First base is obviously holding, so plenty of room to get that one through. So if he's playing normal death, I think that's a chopper right to the first baseman. So thankfully, we're able to get on base. And now lead up to Zach Neto, who we actually moved up in the lineup to hit number 1. He's got one of the highest on-base percentages on the team. So I wanted to make the move to swap him to the top of the lineup. And already it's paying off. That ball is deep back into left field, way out of here. 3-run home run for Zach Neto. That is a long moonshot. He just pulled that one flat out all the way over. His 11th of the season. Look at the 101 on the exit velo, though. Imagine. That's why you say baseball is a pretty dangerous game. Imagine a line drive 101 like to the jaw. I know that's instant break. At least I would think that's instant break. Maybe somebody survived through that. But to me, that sounds like instant break. That one went high up. It looked like it actually left the stadium for a little bit. It curved. It just did not curve enough to go foul. So now Trey already in his first game, not only getting a hit, scoring a run in his first ever at bat. And that's going to be a perfectly swung on ball. He's only got 39 power, but that's the deepest part of the park out in center field. And it is gloved in. I couldn't see too well. I thought maybe he had missed it. Let's look at this one in the replay, though. To the deepest part of the park, too, with 39 power. He had to leap for it, too. Look, even with 39 power, that's why I be telling y'all, if you time it up right, even 39 power can take it out sometimes. That was almost too dead center. Imagine if he had pulled that, it would have been a no-doubt home run. But this is the real reason we wanted to get him up here, too, as well, to upgrade this infield as much as possible. And that's going to be a clean double play for Reed Detmers, who's going into 7 innings of work here today, looking pretty strong. As we go to the bottom of the 7th here, still up 7-1. The offense has been killing it today. As Lipscomb will go to ground this one to first base. That's a pretty productive first game, 1 for 3. So we go ahead and get back out. Reed Detmers going for, it looks like the complete game here, possibly going into. Oh, they're going to bring in Hernandez to go and get the last 3 outs, and he does so. As we'll walk out of here with the dub against the Nationals. Great start from Reed Detmers. 8 innings strong, I believe he was able to finish out. Only giving up 1 earned run, 9 strikeouts, 5 hits. Shout out to Lipscomb, the 1 for 3. They did not get a 4th at bat, but Nolan, 2 for 3, 3 RBIs. Zach Neto, 2 for 4, 3 RBIs. So they're both up into the 30s this season. Jorge Soler gets his 38th RBI as well with his 14th homer. And all around us was a great team win. We had the extra base hits. We had 10 hits as a team today. And it looks like this lineup is starting to look strong again. 3 straight wins. What's that, like 8 of our last 9? And they want to offer us a trade here. The Detroit Tigers are offering a Matt Manning, who actually is not a bad starting pitcher, but a year or 2 years older than Reed Detmers. Sometimes I forget how young Reed Detmers actually is. He's only 26. He seems like way older than that. But Matt Manning, 28, has the potential, but a lot less time to reach it. And he actually has not been playing good all season. Yeah, these numbers are not telling us somebody that I want to make this trade for, especially with Reed actually performing good and being 26, showing that there is more to him than this. I think he'll be a solid 4 or 5 guy with this ERA in the 4s consistently. And if he can actually take it to another level and get to the low 4s, high 3s, he might be able to keep his 3rd spot in the rotation. But definitely not looking to make this trade right now, at least. Matt Manning, if we were in a playoff contention, I might consider it. But yeah, no, the numbers here are telling me do not make that one. So we're going to listen to the numbers this time around. And with that being said, we have our series here against the Nationals and then Rays coming up before we obviously get into the draft. So we'll go into a situation here. Bases back juiced here. Jose Hernandez this time in the game. After he had that great closeout last time to get the final 3. Can he get the last out that we need here to not lose? He's a very strong lefty too. I can't believe we were able to pick him up out of the Rule 5 draft. And it looks like it's been working for us so far. Neto has to have a clean throw to first base, and he will. Look at the clean defense at work for us. And let me know down below, you guys think I should turn off like any of the throwing meters, stuff like that? You guys feel like I'm helping or hurting them? Because I mean, I'm not perfect in the field either. If you guys have watched my Aces series, I make my fair share of errors. So honestly, it's probably about as even, if not even worse, with me controlling it on the field as it is for their actual ratings. But Trey Lipscomb actually hitting his first home run here at the majors this season. 3 RBIs on the day too as well. So another strong 1-for-4 day. Looking like he's making my decision that much easier. Ricky Hernandez also getting a triple in today's game, his first 14 RBIs, and then Chase Seth. Boy, okay, can we get some more normal names, please? Or I need Google Translate next to me when I'm saying these names so I can get them right. But great start by him. We ended up losing the last game against Washington, but winning the series. That's 2 back-to-back series wins, at least to start out the month of July. As we're going into this series against the Rays, we are now 17 games out of first place. Losing this one here is, I almost forgot, Luis Refrengo. That's right, we just traded him to this team too as well. Has a 3-for-5 day, 4 RBIs against us. Where was that at when you were over here? We were missing games like that. He had a home run, a double, no errors. That's the big thing. Where was the no errors at when you were over here? Zach Neto commits 1 today. Jesus Luzardo only able to get 2 innings, 5 earned runs, so he did not have a good day at all. But that'll be all we needed to do, though, to go ahead and get us into the draft. As we'll go into, what is this, the second draft here of the series. So bringing in our second round of prospects. The first time we ended up walking away with a 99 potential left fielder in the first round this year's draft. I'm not too impressed with some of the guys up at the top. Not really seeing like too many chances to get like a 99 potential player or even anybody like to mid-upper 90s. But there are still some guys that are interesting, like Kelly Crucian here at catcher. 81 to 93 potential, solid on defense, great contact, even has good power, and the vision is already going to come in at an MLB ready level, so he's going to be an MLB ready hitter. It's just going to be if the defense can follow up. We also have Joe Mize here at second base, who will come in with typical second base stuff here. The accuracy and strength are low, but the defense and fielding are good. Speed is good. Vision's going to need to be the most helped out here, but when you're a power hitter like he is, that's to be expected, so we can expect home runs and strikeouts from him. Carlos Corderio, who we actually got a little bit of scouting in before that last week, ends up showing some good contact numbers there, but I don't know if I would necessarily count him up there in the top ranks with somebody that I really want. But Mark Tebow, now he is at 75 to 90 potential, 6th on our overall board as we're picking at 7, and he's just a pure hitter. So that's a straight up DH, and we just got to hope that the defense can get him around to maybe play third, but he definitely would be a straight up DH. As we also look at closing pitching here, with mostly our second round pick is probably going to be where that comes in. But there's Alberto Mendez, fastball, changeup, 2-seam slider mix. As he looks very good, it's probably going to be the person that I'm looking at getting with that second round 43rd pick in this year's draft. As it looks like there might be some competitive balances in there. Of course, the compensatory picks and stuff like that, they kind of go in the mix in the first round. So we'll have to see where our second round pick gets pushed back to. But as we're going to start off this year's draft, we have our board set up. And it's time to go in and get the top 3 picks out in the open. Number 1 going is Kelly Crucian. So that always takes off one of my decisions. I was really considering him at 7 if he slid down, but he will actually be going number 1 overall to the Miami Marlins, being the first player taken off the board. Number 2 be Julius Huff for the Rays, going and getting somebody that was 30th on our board, 6th on the MLB board, but that's a pretty high jump up. They must have saw something they really liked with his numbers, or he fit a role that they really needed. And then number 3 of the Rockies Sean Xander becoming the first starting pitcher to come off the board. We didn't even touch starting pitching at all in this draft, so none of them are scouted at all for us. Don't know if that is looking like a miss or not, but at least right now I'm not too concerned because we got 3 really good starting pitching prospects last year's draft, or 3 really good ones. We have a 4th one that's already doing good down there too as well, and a reliever. So we went relief pitching heavy last time. I want to go position player heavy this time around. So Mark Tebow going to the Athletics, so that takes off another one of my decisions. So that's 2 of the top 4 people that I wanted, which is kind of leaves Carlos and Joe Mize, which Carlos Cordero, he could end up sliding back to our second pick if he's still there, just because there's that opportunity with him being, I think, 30th on the overall MLB board. So I think the correct move here would be somebody like Joe Mize. Now looking here at Tebow, he was 8th on the MLB board, so I'm surprised he went up a little bit farther than that. But yeah, well, that makes it kind of easy for us to just go ahead and go Joe Mize here. He's 40th on the MLB board, but 4th on ours. And when I'm taking a chance, he's got the higher ranking on our personal board. He's got better defense. He's going to come in with power, which I've been looking for somebody to supplement that for us. So I want to go ahead and bring in Joe Mize, a power hitting second baseman with decent defense, or great defense, just bad arm. And we'll see if we can develop that arm when he gets down to our minor league system. We'll probably start him at like AA, maybe AAA, depending on what that overall and potential end up being. And as we're getting closer and closer to the end of the first round, we see some of our other guys went. Carlos Cordero ends up going here to the Diamondbacks. So we'll have to check that one out after the draft. You can see he had the contact and vision and actually way better defense. It's just the power and the fact that we didn't have him fully scouted. I didn't know where that potential was going to lie out for us. Andy Munoz, one of the closing pitchers I was looking at here, but has home run per 9 as his weakness. I was kind of like shading him back to like the closing pitcher number 2 out of my options list, just because that home run per 9 was going to start out so low. We cannot be giving up home runs. And I think, like, imagine if he had given up a home run, those 2 bases loaded situations that we just faced. Cannot be having that happen. The ball games would be over. So with our next pick here, we do have Albert Menendez ready for us to pick up here. We're going to go and pick him up. 83 to 98 potential range, 61 to 76 overall. So he could be coming in almost MLB ready at 19 years old. And he's going to be a lefty. So a left-handed closer, not really great with fastballs as far as like he's not going to come in and top out at a Aroldis Chapman level, 103, but definitely going to be solid for us. In round 3, we're looking shortstop here, Joe Snowden. Great defense, but once again, having more of a second base tendencies with the accuracy and strength being low. The hitting is going to be at like an average tier pretty much throughout, so it's going to be more of a defender and speed guy. We'll just have to see if we can work up the bat, but moving up the board from 104 to 70, definitely has me intrigued here at 83, so he's going to go ahead and be the next pick for us. And then in round 4, we're looking, staying in the infield here, Barlow Rosa, who has an interesting choice of secondaries. He actually played all the outfield spots as well. Now, I don't know if he's playing the outfield with that arm strength and accuracy, but with an interesting mix there as far as something that you can play secondary. Could be a potential outfield prospect too as well. So we're going to pick him up from unranked to 99 too as well. So obviously we saw something that a lot of other people did not with that 66 to 88 potential range. So we'll see what he can come in and do. And last but not least here, round 5 at pick 143, I went and had to retool my draft queue here to find some extra targets to see if any of these guys are good. So we have Carmen Cavaggio at first base. I just like that he was a power hitting first baseman. Catcher Ronald Torres. He has some good defense and good contact. Another closing pitcher here with Tyrell Breach, which I'm pretty sure I'll probably pick up in round 6. But Anthony Blanco, good contact, good vision, great speed at right field. Could be a center fielder for us potentially with good arm strength. Just the accuracy will be a little bit low. But also, too, we can move him to left and let Henry, if he develops even more nicely, play center if Joe Adele is not going to work out. But we also have Kumar Quintana here, who's got great speed, actually has good strength. Accuracy is still low, but even better strength. Great contact, great vision. And it actually looks like his contact has a chance to come in MLB ready. So I think here at 143, I'm going to go with Omar with that almost MLB ready hitting ability. Non-ranked to 109 on the board too as well. It just looks like he'll probably come in at the rating that he'll be at potentially. 56 to 80, 57 to 81. He'll either come in better than expected it to be or worse. Or like the same. And then here in the 6th inning, I told y'all we're coming back for Tyrell Breachin. He's the only person left on my board anyway. So from non-ranked to 73, we're going to pick up 2 closing pitchers that we can develop, and one of them two has to hit. That's my thought process with that. One of y'all two got to hit, and it'll just help keep a reliever at least. I like to keep at least a closing pitcher at each level, so that'll help me keep at least one there all the way through. So that'll go ahead and end this year's draft. I don't think it was as big of a splash, no big names like we had in last year's with Henry, but I think definitely some guys that'll help at least up our farm system rankings, maybe be good trade bait with the potential ratings that they give out to help us get actual MLB ready talent. That's also too what you want to use the draft for, finding as much potential that you can that could eventually be trade bait, just like Luis Refringo was. Is we're going to go ahead and play this last game here against the Rays, and it was just coincidence that Reed Detmer's on the mound, and Refringo is the first person that we see here as he flies this one out to Henry, who will go ahead and make the catch there out in left center field. And we're going to player lock on Henry here this season. Has had a pretty good year, 266. Hitting, I think he can probably finish the season off around 20 to 25 home runs if he keeps up the pace that he's at, as that's going to be a base hit up the middle. If he can finish off this year around 270 and give me about 22 to 25 homers, I think we've had a successful rookie year with him. And obviously he's going to be well ahead in the rookie of the year voting here as he's standing on for second base. And he's showing that he's got the wheels too, as he has speed, contact, a little bit of power, and some good defense. As we're going to need every bit of that if we want him to be the centerfold on the team. Here's that throw, goes over to first base as Mike Trout is grounding out. Jorge Soler up next, and this one we leave a little bit too early as he's in a pickle now trying to get back over to second base, and they will tag him down. Just left that one. Honestly, my finger twitched. I left a little bit too early. I did not mean to go there at all. So Pereira in his second at bat here will bloop this one out to left field. They're saying go two. He dove and missed. That's going to get past him and go all the way up against the wall, but how deep into the corners is going to go? He'll finally be able to pick this one up and throw it in, but we are going to just easily trot into third base. That's a triple off of his diving mistake, and they will actually award it to him for that just as well too. No error on that. So his third triple of the season comes way of. Let's just see how close he was to actually making this catch. I couldn't see up the line. Oh yeah, you weren't even close. Well, I would have been mad if I watched that back in film. You were not even close. Like if you were at least close, you can't even be mad at it. You know, you took a chance, you risked it, but if you weren't close, yeah, you just gave up this run for no reason. That's going to bloop in front of the right fielder, Mike Trout, getting the RBI there, and we're up 3-0 against the Rays. Back in the outfielders, he's played solid defense this year too as well. Not very many errors coming from our outfielders, as it should be. But I mean, it's really hard to get an error in the outfield if we're being honest. Like unless you just really have a chance to nail somebody, you just sail that bit into the seats. Like there's really honestly, I don't even know how you get errors in the outfield at this point. So we're going to win this game here against the Rays, though, 4-0. As we're able to go to come out on top. Great team win here today. Henry looked good as he got 2 more hits today. So another multi-hit ball game as we could just, if we could keep this core just a little bit longer. I mean, Nolan is still young. Logan O'Hop, I think he's at 26, but he's still technically young. If we can find a way to get Joe Adell to hit again, if Zach Neto can pull the average up, I mean, we are honestly in the spot right now where we could win. A couple more good pitching arms, which I would go out and do in free agency if we were close enough. But a couple more pitching arms, and if guys played to their actual potential, this team will be ready to win now. The question is going to be, are they going to play their potential before I let them go and find other people that will? Now, of course, we want to go ahead and get into the home run derby here. We want to watch it just a little bit just to make sure the person that plays gets their trophy. So in it this year, we have Marcell Ozuna, Brent Rucker, Royce Lewis, and Yordan Alvarez for the AL, Matt Olson, Bryce Harper, Kyle Tucker, and Juan Soto for the NL. And as we jump basically all the way forward to the final round, it's Kyle Tucker versus Yordan Alvarez for the title. As we'll go ahead and jump in here with the last 10 seconds left in Kyle Tucker's round as he lines that one right at the wall. Would have been a nice double. But we need home runs only here as that ball is going to get out of here, 411 feet. And now here's where the final outs start. So you have 3 outs unless you hit a home run 425 plus. Then you'll get a 4th out. That was close at 413. So you have to see how hard he makes this for Yordan Alvarez. That ball is going to go deep out the right field. That one is not leaving the park. So it's his first out. That's a line drive foul. That's out number 2. So he technically only has 1 more out unless he can hit a 425-foot homers. That one's going to go to right field. 391. So still only has 3 outs here. He's going to line this one up near the seats, and that's going to end his day as that's going foul. So, you know, Yordan Alvarez just needs 13 to walk out of here with that championship for the American League. Do it for the West as we come into his basically last pitch here on his outing. So I think it's like a minute or what is it, like 3 minutes, but you get like 27 pitches basically, or 2 minutes, something like that. And then after that, it comes up to 3 to 4 outs. So there on his first swing gets the bonus round already. So that's 451. So he immediately will get that extra out there. So now he has 4 outs to work with. And now just 3 home runs ties it up, as that one was home run number 9. Can Alvarez do it here in the Phillies Citizen Bank Park? Is that one's going to get out at 404. I can't wait for us to have somebody in it. I don't know who it'll be. I mean, obviously Mike Trout's getting over, so the home run production is not going to be there. We need to find another guy that just has phenomenal power. And I'm not going to lie, developing a guy with good power, I feel like it's something that's not been done. I haven't done it in any of the past Madden, or not Madden, but MLB The Shows. I have not developed anybody that has just like elite level power. So I don't know. We might have to go to free agency for something like that, as that ball's going to be hit deep out to right field. That one is going to carry out of here at 449. If there's a way to get an extra out, that would have gotten it again, as he's 1 out away from losing, as he only needed a home run, and that one probably would have left had they stayed fair. So Alvarez will lose this one, unfortunately. Kyle Tucker will walk away with the dub here for the National League. Ooh, that's got to hurt. Look at him just holding up the trophy, adding some hardware back home. You see he had 19 in the first round to move on, the most out of the first round, but then only had 9 to beat Marcell Ozuna. So I don't know what Ozuna did in the second round, but to not get 9 is terrible, especially when Alvarez on his end got 19 after being at 16 in the first round, and then he did enough to beat Harper there. So it looks like Juan Soto, Royce Lewis, Matt Olson, Brent Rooker, they all got out first rounds, hitting less than 14 and 13 home runs. But shout out to Kyle Tucker, man, and the Dodgers going and taking home that home run derby, which will go ahead and shift us over gears to the All-Star game, as we're going to try to see if we have any All-Stars from the team. As pitching-wise, we have Jordan Romano, our closer, was able to go ahead and make it this year with that .96 ERA. Nobody else is having a lower ERA as far as any pitchers, really, other than him. Bats, though, it looks like we will have a quiet year here at the plate, as I actually thought. He really didn't make it. I really thought we had Logan O'Hoppe making it here at catcher, but I guess not. Actually, he was number 2 the last time I looked. Why is he not making the All-Star game? Is it really like you only get one person? I mean, obviously he got first. Yeah, look, he's number 2 here, but instead they went with Freddie. You see how far down we are? Freddie Furman, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people. 7 people differentiate him in the number 1 overall all-star catcher. So how they were able to go down there, I don't know if it's just a rule like at least one person per team, and he was the person that got picked. But yeah, that one didn't make any sense to me. I don't know how he was able to make the All-Star game being that low down. But okay, I think we got snubbed. Now in the Futures game too as well, I know for sure we will not play this one. I just wanted to see if we had anybody here though. Richie Burris actually making the All-Star, the Futures game. So it Douglas Ellison. So one guy that we scouted and knew about, the other one that we were actually able to pick up late in that second round. Looks like he's had a great season up to this point so far, but he is the only Futures All-Star that we have. Most of our guys that are hitters are already older than I've already played this game. So now we'll have to hope that some of our young draft picks can fill up those rankings here. It's time to go ahead and sign them to their deals. Joe Mize is at 100% scouting progress, 72% motivation ready to sign. John Snowden's at 63% motivation ready to sign. And we'll just go ahead and add on, let's see, Alberto, since he's got the highest scouting progress, so it won't take him too long at 60%. Get him up to 100% scouted and we'll offer his contract. But we'll start here with Joe Mize first. Looks like he wants 3.4. The draft slot is 6.8. So let's try to find like maybe a nice figure in the middle around maybe 5.4 then. He'll go ahead and sign the deal. I love it. So look, didn't have to go to what the position needs were or the pick value was because of what he wanted. Now, John Snowden only wants 690. We're going to probably try that exact offer as a position need is 920K for the pick position. So he's actually going to say he's not interested in that. So he's down to 63% motivation. And since we got one person signed, let's go with our next highest percentage here on scouting progress and put Bartolo Rosa on this list. And so that's basically what we're going to be doing here to end out the rest of the second half of the season, or at least the rest of July. We're going to play these games 2 at a time so we can come back in and see if we can win, as we have a bases loaded situation here for Henry Pereira. 0 for 3 on the day, 3 for 13 in the series against the White Sox, but able to maybe walk this one off. Our chance for a bases loaded, no 1-out situation. And Cam Boozer's getting tired. I saw that yellow stamina. Throw me a little duck in here. There it is. We went right through it. Henry, come on, you can't miss those ducks when we ask for them. It's like the bullpen arms are getting up just in case this inning gets loose. So let's go ahead and make it to where they have to get up and get in this game. Oh, I didn't even know they did that. Down below, you can see they're ranking my picks as we get struck out there. And they're giving me a D+ for Omar, but then an A for Tyrell. Okay, I think our first 2 picks also were A's, a B, and then a C. So, I mean, I guess we did pretty good overall. As that throw will go. Oh, my goodness. That got him by a mile. Hernandez is slow. That was a great base hit there to go ahead and bring home 1. I tried to be greedy and bring home the second. Did not work, and because of that here, looks like the game is dipped below our chosen levels. Let's just go ahead and simulate here to the end of the game. And it looks like they do go ahead and finish it out and get the dub here. So it'll be a 3-2 loss. Luzardo actually exiting after 3 innings of work. Pitch count must have been high, but 8 hits as a team. 3 of them coming from Joe Adele. 3 for 3 day. Nice. Trying to work his way back into the lineup, I guess. Yep. John Snowden ready for his next contract offer here. Let's see. We'll go ahead and up it just a little bit. We'll go with the 9 on 8K then. Looks like we won't be able to lowball him, so he goes in and signs his deal. So I go ahead and put him onto the roster. We're going to try Alberto Menendez here too as well that we got in the second round. Without fully scouting him, he's only at 92%, but he signs his deals. He looks pretty strong. And that'll be able to get our last 2 guys here up, our 4th, 5th, and 6th round guys. I'm going to move this around a little bit though. Put the lowest motivation up at the top. So 43% will be getting 3% a week. 61% going to get 2% a week, and 75% just 1. So we skip ahead a little bit here to 8 days left to the signing deadline. Barlow Rosa is finally basically fully scouted here. Contact is good. I don't think he was where I really wanted him to be, but for non-ranked this back and the fact that the potential is still a chance to be a B, I think that we should go ahead and make that signing here. So he's only wanting 482K. Does not accept the first deal that we try to give him, but the Braves want to offer us a deal instead. Going again for Reed Detmers, who I do have on the trade block. That's why we're getting so many for him. But they want to go with Bryce Elder, 20, almost an exact copy here. 26 years old, C potential, 76 overall, and playing worse. So yeah, this is the worst trade that the Braves could have offered here. We're not getting any type of better with this. I don't see any ratings that stand out that scream like, yes, you need me more than Reed. So I'm going to stick with the guy that's on fire right now, playing good and loyal to the team. And as we go to get back into signing our last 3 prospects here, we're going to offer to Barlow Rosa. Just offering the base level deal there for him. He's coming into looking like a pretty good player with the 71 to 86 potential after being fully scouted. And as we come into the last days here, you can see the All-Star break was not kind to us after the fact, as we have only won 4 games, including only like 2 of our last 10. It has not looked good for the Angels since leaving the All-Star break, but at least signing these prospects has looked good as everybody's come in looking pretty good. Even Tyrell Breachin here looking like a good prospect. Now we have him fully 100% scouted, 84 to 99 potential, so it could come in very highly as a closer. Only one that's kind of questionable here is Omar with basically, 60 to 74 potential, 61 to 75 overall. He's basically going to come in as good as he's going to ever be. But at least the contact was high enough to intrigue me enough to be like, you know what, I'll at least give him a chance. Maybe he could come in and be a DH or at least a good guy off the bench. One of the very first times, a few times I've actually thought about somebody coming off the bench and being good. But that might be his role, or he could just be good trade bait to somebody else that might think of, like that role. Now here, they want to offer us, this is the Minnesota Twins offering us a relief pitching prospect in Pierre Chase, who's actually doing pretty good down in the minors. Not too bad, a C potential prospect. And they want to give me a left fielder here, another prospect, 23 years old, C potential, for somebody like Taylor Ward. Now, Taylor Ward's had a great season, and while I would love to get some prospects back for him, I feel like he's done good enough to warrant a little bit more than some C prospects. He's 82 overall, B potential, so that's on paper looking good. He's seen good boosts over some of his ratings. And as a starter, he's done phenomenally with the stats that he's put up. On 316 recent average, 381 on base percentage here recently, 245 and 323 on the whole season with 11 home runs without even starting much of the year. So 11 home runs, 14 doubles, getting a lot of extra base hits. I think he should warrant at least 1 B potential prospect possibly. Now, so what I ended up doing is I ended up going around shifting the trade a little bit and finding a trade here that works for us with the Nationals, giving up a relief pitcher in DJ Hers and an outfield prospect that is C, but Hers is a B potential reliever. And we had to throw in, of course, an extra prospect here. So I struggled with letting it go there at first, but we're going to let it go. Give Joe Adell his spot back in the starting lineup. We also got here Robert Hassel III, so we're moving him down. That's our C potential outfielder now. Moving him down to AAA. And moving Esteury Ruiz up to the major leagues to come and hit off the bench. DJ Hurst, we're going to move him down to AAA. I don't know why I had him on our major league roster. We're moving him down to AAA. And going and moving back up Trey Lipscomb, because I had moved him down thinking I had too many guys up here, and I accidentally did that with no reason. We're also going to move Caden Dana. I've seen enough from him at the major league level. He's going down to AAA too as well. And Walker Buehler is going to bring himself up. So we're going to move him immediately into the starting rotation to see what he can do. He's finally battled back in AAA and had a great finish here. So we're going to see if he can finish this season great here up at the majors with us. And as one final trade offer comes in here, Dean Creamer for Reed Detmer just didn't make sense here to me. I mean, if we were pushing for a final spot, maybe. But being 30 years old, putting up some okay stats, that's not really going to help me like Reed can here in a year or two. Now, if there was K. Popovich that they were giving up, then we could talk. But they were not trying to get that up. I actually went to try it, but they were not going for it. So let's go and just view our prospects here. So we got everybody signed, and it's another year of 90s across the board. Well, I see 3 90s on this list. Now, 2 of them are closing pitchers, but 91, 93, 93, including also an 83 and 79 for our infielders. And then Omar out in the outfield looks like 66 potential, which does kind of suck, but we'll see what that can turn into. Joe Mize, though, being our first round pick, 91 potential. This is exactly what you want to get out of that first guy. You want to get somebody that's good, somebody that's sturdy. So coming in at a 63 overall, looks like the power will at least be there right off the bat. Defense, as far as fielding reaction, is there, and his speed is there. First thing I'll probably work on him is maybe the vision. If they can get the vision up, then the power is going to be able to, take more effect. So maybe letting that work for a little bit. But I think he's definitely somebody that we send down to AA and let develop for a little while. Now over here at closing pitcher, Alberto Menendez, 71 overall. 93 on his potential. So it looks like he's coming in with some MLB level type of per nines. Pitching clutch at 53. What I would like to see get better. Controls at 56, breaks at 77, throws a 4-seam changeup, 2-seam slider. I think we probably see him open the year maybe at AAA. 46 stamina for a closer is actually very good. So that means he's got pretty good stamina. Tyrell Breachin, the other closer, he's going to be at a 63 with the same amount of potential at 93. Now his per nines kind of dip a little bit lower for like walk per nine, but his hits per nine is significantly better. So we have to see if that can balance itself out. Pitching clutch looks like, I think that's a little bit higher, but we still wanted to go up above that. We want to get to the 70s. So he'll probably start at AA so he can work on that walk per nine and pitching clutch. Now, as far as our other guys here in the infield, Barlow Rosa, 51 overall, 79 on his potential. So a C prospect here that needs to basically kind of work on everything. I mean, his visions are in an okay spot, contact's in an okay spot for a AA hitter. So that'll be basically where he starts at, but the fielding is still low on a team where we're trying to fix our fielding. That's not good to see. Joe Snowden comes in at a 59 overall, could get up to a B there with the 80. Power is not going to really be there, but he's going to be better hitting against lefties and righties. Visions need work, but he's got great fielding and reaction. So I think we'll probably just work on his vision and then figuring out if he's going to be a contact or power hitter. One of those two got to give. Lastly here, though, Omar Quintana, 67 overall, 66 potential. So he's going to get worse, it seems like. Now he's got MLB level vision, contact. Looks like he could play here immediately as a DH though, because the defense is booty and he's going to get worse. So none of this is going to get better. So we'll have to just see how he plays. I think I'll probably put him in the minors just to see what happens. I don't think this is somebody that we keep around long term, but hey, you got to have a 90-man roster, so you got to fill up the bench some kind of way. So with that being said though, we can go ahead and take a look at all the other teams around the league here for us. The Astros, looks like they've got a pretty good draft class here. Philip Song with the 94 overall potential, but outside of that, a pretty okay draft, 54 overall. So we have a while before we would see him at second base, but that would have been nice to pick him up. Slightly better potential than the one that we got. Defense though is low, doesn't really have any kind of big hitting skills. The Athletics did get Mark Tebow, who I did want, who ends up being 81 potential, but also walked away with 2 players unassigned. So did not sign 2 of their guys, and a lot of these guys had potentials up in the blue area, but walked away with some greens. So Mark Tebow ends up with MLB ready hitting. Definitely would have been an MLB ready DH year one. 73 overall is what he's coming up here with. So he's just somebody that would have been ready to play immediately and go into a DH role immediately, which would have been great for us to let Soler go and let him take over. He's also here with this Mariners. They had a pretty bad draft. Best thing they could muster up was an 85 potential closer here in Roger Whittaker, who wasn't even on my radar. And then with the Rangers, they got a 94 potential second baseman as well with Mario Perez, 53 overall. So a couple of really good second basemen were in this draft class. We just didn't find like the best one, but we still got a good one in our own right. Now, I would have loved to get somebody like Carlos Correa here, though. 87 on his potential, 67 overall. Great contact off the rip. A pretty balanced defensive effort with 75 vision. Yeah, he definitely would have been somebody that we had at like AA, AAA quickly to go to make that work. And then there was also a closing pitcher here, Andy Munoz, who we're also looking at trying to select with that first one. I'm kind of glad we got the guys that we did here. I think that the per nines work a little bit better. That home run per nine is very low at 43, so I like the closing pitchers that we ended up with. And the best player in the whole draft, no 99 potential players, but there was a 97 here in Larry Hedger, starting out at a 42 overall though, so he's got a long way to work up to it at 19 overall. But if the Yankees manage it right, they got a very strong first baseman out of that draft class. So now that all the draft picks have been made, some more last minute roster moves is we're going to move Christian Moore from AAA down to AA. I just think he's kind of struggled up here. He's not seeing good development. So I think some time at AA might help him get back right. So see his career still go positively in a nice direction. Cecil Kendricks had a great first year down at AA, 63 overall. I think we start him out at AA again and let him move up to AAA mid-season next year. Dave Stewart has had a good development here at 64 overall. I think he'll probably finish out the year still at AA, but I don't know if we'll start him at AAA next year or if he'll just kind of be like our ace at AA, but I like it so far. So next year you can see him move up to AAA for sure, as long as he can just duplicate some of these numbers. 3.23 ERA, whip at a 1.1. Francis Textito might be right behind him with him moving up to a 63 overall. I got to see what his potential is. I think it was 73. I think it's a low 70s, but I wish if it goes up a little bit, I'm going to be on it, because 2.21 ERA, only 3 home runs given up in 97 innings was probably the thing that stuck out to me the most. He is not giving up a lot of long balls out in the park at all. Only 24 earned runs even too as well. Strikeouts are at 84, so we could look to get that a little bit higher, but in 15 starts, he's looked phenomenal. And then Douglas Ellison here, 20 starts. You know he's our complete game monster with 123 innings, only 11 home runs given up, but 16 quality starts out of 20. That means only 4 times this year they've been able to get him out the game early. And then last but not least here, Alex Campos finally seeing some good progression on his ratings at single A with that 58 overall. So that's good to see. Next time out, we'll basically get through August and September, basically getting through the rest of the season. Get through September call-ups, maybe a couple final games with some prospects as they're at the majors to see what they do, and kind of finish out the season and go into off-season year number 3 in episode 12. So you guys have been enjoying the series. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe for your boy to let me know. I am sorry about that little time gap, but we're going to try to get these out more and more quickly so you guys can get more and more enveloped into the series as we are in peak MLB season. So we're going to try to look to get this team as good as possible, as soon as possible, like our always goal is going to be. Catch you guys in the next video, though. It's been your GM Smooth, aka SGG, the King of Games, and I'll catch you guys in the next Angels video. I'm out.